Up everyone, I hope you're fine and well. Yes, so here we are again for another round of market overview, technical analysis, and our usual trading signals and trading calls, literally. All right, so don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, you can see the videos keep growing every day, and we have one or two subscribers every day, literally. Okay, we started this channel less than 1.5 months ago. Okay, it's less than 1.5 months, and here we are. All right, so let's keep everything tight. Let's keep subscribing, like the videos, okay, and don't forget to click on the notification button. All right, so let's jump straight into the next part, which is the fundamental part of today's session. So here we are. We have few data coming today. We have the one that came very early this morning, which is Australian dollar employment rate and unemployment rate. I mean, employment change and unemployment rate. They both came higher than expected. Okay, you can see the employment change came by 25,000.6K. Okay, from what the market was forecasting, around 9,000 increments of what of jobs. So changing the number of employed people during the very previous month. So we have up to 9,000, over 9,000 people got employed. Okay, did what? Got employed. And what happened in Australian is what we had a bigger number when it comes to a very significant reduction in the unemployment rate. You can see they had up to 9,000, more than 9,000 new jobs were created and people that got employed. And you can see there's a massive reduction in the unemployment rate as well. Previously, they had 4.2% number of people that were unemployed in Australia, and right now they have 3.9, meaning there is the what? There is 0.3% reduction in the number of unemployed people. If we take a deep dive into this, the unemployment might be in the service industry, in the manufacturing industry, it might be in the farming industry, it might even be in the military. Okay, but one thing we all need to know is that we they have a massive reduction in the unemployment rate, which was very good. And you see the way Aussie dollar jumped up this morning. It went up crazily. And later by 9:30, which probably will still be on the call by then, we have some fundamentals coming from the SNB, the Swiss National Bank. Okay, we have the monetary policy assessment and the policy rate. So we have the bank rate coming today, literally the interest rate, and the market is forecasting what? 8.25%. Okay, which can also be called 25 basis point reduction in the what? In the interest rate. All right. So the market is forecasting what? A 0.25% deduction in the interest rate, or let's say the market or the Swiss National Bank is forecasting or planning to cut 25 basis points, which is going to be very good for USDCH because it would definitely fly up, possibly. And now, mind you, this is already priced in, okay? Everything you can see right here. The reason why you might ask that, okay, let's say the previous was what? The previous was 14%. And then the forecast is now 13%. You'll be like, well, if the actual now came like 13%, the market should still drop, right? Because it, when you compare both together, when you compare previous and actual together, there's still 1.1. I mean, there's still 1% reduction. Wouldn't you agree? Yes. But the reason why there is you rarely see an impact in the market is because what? When the market is forecasted like this, okay, the reason why it's forecasted is because there's some survey carried out, there's some statement that people have put together to forecast, to guess that possibly has happened already. And when they've seen that happen, you will see the forecast there. And this forecast is majorly already priced in. When they said it's priced in, it means they've already put this thing into what? Into perspective. And the market has readjusted to the forecasted data. Okay, it has adjusted to the forecasted data. So when the market now come exactly as been forecasted, you will rarely see any impact because it's already in there. The way the market is currently trading is based on what has been forecasted. So when the market now come, when the action now comes as expected, you will see that there's nothing literally changed. The same thing happened with dollar yesterday when the CPI data came. Okay, it came just as expected. All right, and you see what happened to USD CHF. I mean, excuse me, DXY. Nothing happened. It went down for like the first hour, and the second hour it went back up, and that was it. And that was everything that happened yesterday. Based on those CPI, we all know CPI is a very big data. But because it came as expected, nothing really happened. So some of you might still be considering, like wondering, like, why didn't we see any serious impact? That is the reason, because the market has already priced in all those numbers. Okay, they've taken it into account. Everyone has been prepared, and everyone is ready for that. So nothing, it's like nothing serious. But that's why if this now come as expected, the whole different thing about in rate cut is that the press conference is now what the people will now start focusing on. Because whatever is being said during the press conference will probably set tone for the rest of the world data, the big data, the inflation, the PPI, the job data, because they're going to branch all those aspects. And especially the Swedish National Bank president, their statement carry weight. Also, the same thing for Jerome Powell, the same thing for Reserve Bank of Australian governor, or the same thing for the one Bank of Canada governor, I think it's Stanley or something. And the same thing with Waller's speech, the same thing with the pound, I mean, is it Bank of United States of America, United Kingdom or what? Bank of England. Yeah, I think I've forgotten his name, something else like that. So when they started talking, people can literally forecast and guess, and then sentimentally, people start making decisions based on that, because what we are trading when it comes to Forex market is the economy of a particular country compared to the other country that is being paired with. All right. So that is very important to take note of. That's why you don't want to just look at fundamentals and just carry face. You don't want to do that. You want to look at it, understand it, and know or be able to forecast or predict the impact this is going to make in the long run. Because you are a swing trader. All right. We're what? We're a swing trader. So by 2:15 p.m., don't forget, tentatively, we still have Chinese yuan new loans going to there. All right. Same, it's gonna run from 11 to 15. So we're gonna see it tomorrow again until Monday. I mean until Sunday. And then by 2:15 we have the some news from Europe, which is the main refinancing rate and monetary policy statement. This is also going to be what? Going to be very interesting, because today we also have ECB what? ECB interest rate. They're planning to cut 25 basis points as well. Okay, they're planning to cut what? 25 basis points. Is it going to happen? If it happens the same way, you will rarely see any impact in the market. You will rarely see it. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but it won't be as interesting as if they eventually cut 50 basis points, or if they didn't cut at all. If they didn't cut at all and the market now remain the same, 340, then definitely you're going to see this. You're going to see an impact in the market. But if they cut 25 basis points and the actual now ends up being what? 3.15, well, that would be like, okay, normal. All right, because it's already been priced in. We have so many people who have been watching this since last week, last month. Okay, so it's already been priced in. And by 2:30 p.m., we have the core PPI, the PPI month to month, and the unemployment claim. When it comes to the PPIs, and they always match with unemployment claim, the initial jobless claim, literally, I always pay close attention to this. All right, very good attention, because they set stone for next week unemployment, initial jobless claim again, and then that all they all kind of builds up to what leads to the next NFP, and then probably the next inflation, and probably the next PMIs. All right. So you have to pay close attention to this. So core PPI, I'm literally guessing that probably we're going to get something quite close to this, or maybe higher. If the data come as expected, we're literally not going to see anything. If it comes higher than expected, then dollar will probably fly today. If it comes lower than expected, then dollar will probably tank. So keep close tab on this. I don't want to stretch it too much, so we don't waste. We don't sleep here today. And lastly, on United States dollar news coming by 2:30 p.m., we have the unemployment claim, the initial jobless claim, which the market is forecasting to have dropped by what? By literally 3K. 3K is not that much, all right? When you compare 220, 250, almost 230K to 3K, is nothing, but it's still something, meaning that the unemployment rate will probably get reduced in the next coming week or month when it's been released in January. All right, the first Friday in January, definitely we're gonna get another unemployment rate where we see how that actually goes. But right now, the initial jobless claim, the market is forecasting a reduction, which would be regarded as a positive data for what? For the dollar. But fingers crossed till 2:30. And lastly, by 2:45, we have the ECB press conference as expected. Every time there is an interest rate statement, definitely it will be followed by what? It will be followed by a press conference. The same thing with Swiss National Bank, and the same thing is happening with forward for ECB. So keep close tab on this. Today is a very packed day. You can see all these high impact data coming today. So let's pay close attention to all of this. It is going to be it's gonna be a rocky ride or probably a smooth one. Yesterday was smooth in a way. But at the same time, to some people that are just joining this euro dollar sell, it's gonna be a little bit rocky. But let's keep close tab on everything. All right. And that is that on my side on the fundamental part. So let's talk about the technical right now. Let's start with the trade that we have running right now, which is pound USD. You can see what's going on with pound USD right now. The fact that ECB is really, the European Central Bank interest rate is coming today. We have the PPI in the United States coming today. We have the initial jobless claim also coming today. Definitely, we're going to get into a very, very rocky move on pound USD, which is the trade I'm still holding. I've already given up hope on this trade. It can as well just go ahead and close me out in loss, which I genuinely don't care. But I'm leaving this trade just to fulfill our righteousness, to be candid with you. I'm leaving it to just to like fulfill your righteousness, to ensure that I followed my system and I didn't change anything. Then when I start cutting stop loss, cutting the trade, that's me being impulsive. I'm setting a very, I'm setting a precedent for what I'm going to be doing next year, right from right now. Okay. No jumping in, no jumping out. I jump into a trade and I'm going to see it through 100%. I'm going to see it through 100%. I've already seen the worst out of this trade. Okay, that's come back here, went back up. It came here yesterday, went back up. So, what is the worst thing that can happen? Just come back to the downside and cut me out. I will gladly take that loss. All right. So that is that on GU. I don't want to waste much of your time. Euro USD also, you can see what happened. The ECB is prepping for what? It's preparing for their interest rate. So definitely we're going to see some move on Euro USD. Possibly the market will come back here to this trailing stop, or maybe just tap it and then drop further down based on whatever happens. But if Fed, the ECB ended up cutting higher than 25 basis points, then we definitely see euro dollar drop. But I was in a class yesterday, or let me say I was in a meeting yesterday where a very respected trader was talking about euro dollar running to a parity, meaning when euro, no, in I think last year or last 2 years, we saw euro dollar, I mean, dollar getting stronger than euro. I mean, parity, you all know what parity means, like zero. When $1 now equals 0 point something euro, which is something that has never happened before. That was the first time it will happen in my lifetime. Okay. So possibly we are heading towards that zone again this time around. As you can see, it is going down gradually. This is when it entered parity. Okay, right here in 2023. Yeah, I think no, it's 2022. Excuse me. No, it's 2023. It's last year. It's last year. Something in September last year. Definitely. August, September last year. That's when it entered parity. So possibly we can end up saying the same thing again. All right. Again, right there. But is it possible? Definitely. Has it happened before? Obviously. Is it possible? 100%. But is it going to happen? I am not sure. So, but we see ECB know what they're doing. I would love to know or believe that they know what they're doing. But we end up they don't know what they're doing and they end up messing the whole thing up. We are traders. We follow momentum. We follow the market wherever it leads us. Okay, we are not here to forecast and we are not here to predict. We are here to take a calculated guess on what is going to happen, and we're going to follow suit wherever it leads. Okay, so euro dollar possibly going to keep dropping to the downside, possibly. All right, you can as well just take a sell trade, like I said yesterday, and keep it what? Keep it right down here. You can put your stop loss right here. It shouldn't be more than 20 pips, anyways. All right, let's assume you take a sell trade right now, and you put your stop loss above here. All right, how many pips is that? That is just, oh, that is 30 pips, 30, 31 pips. Not too much. All right. So if it's something you're interested in, by all means, go ahead and give it a shot. But if not, you can just watch it closely and see how it goes. But anyway, ECB data will definitely make some move today to make it to create some pump, some dump, Some very interesting move will happen today. So keep a close tab on it. Be careful, be cautious, and watch it very closely. All right, that's my take on euro dollar for now. And yes, I don't think I have any buy opportunity, any buy trade set up. That would be right at the top here. Okay, if I'm gonna have any buy trade, it has to be right at the top here, in my own personal opinion. Okay, it's gonna be right at the top here. If at all I have a plan to buy. But anything below here, it's gonna be short for me. And if I try to bring out my indicator also, you will see it right there. You can see everything kind of aligns to the downside on the 2 hour time frame. However, on the 1 hour time frame, it's a whole different story, but it's still quite bearish. All right, still what? Still quite bearish, even on the 1 hour time frame. So just keep a close tab on this one. Watch it very closely. See how it goes together. And if there's any opportunity, I think this is a very good opportunity though. But if there's any other one that presents itself, yeah, you can also go ahead and take it. All right. So that's my take moving forward. I'm not going to come back to euro dollar anyways. USD CAD on the other hand, I'm also anticipating for retest of this zone. You can see the moving average crossover are doing very well. The moving average is actually indicating a stronger bullish momentum to continue. Right, we've seen some drama right here. Okay, when the market crossed over, and why is that? Because the market literally was ranging. But when it break out, pull back, and started going back up, you can see another range right here. Okay, the moving average got messed up, and then it went up, pull back, and then I took a buy. And you can see what happened after that. I closed the trade right at the top here. And we all saw that trade. We all, probably some of you took it, some of you went out early, and some of you probably partial close like I did. And at the same time, we still end up in probably break even and probably some profit. I don't know. I don't know if anybody actually take the trade. But all I know is I took the trade and it went well. And I share everything with you right here. And if you missed that class, you can always catch up on Zoom. You can always catch up on our YouTube channel. So moving on, the plan for me on USD CAD is to see an actual pullback, probably a very deep pullback, because so far we've seen a deep pullback, all right? Whereas have we seen a deep pullback? We've seen, yes, quite a deep pullback right here also. Deep one, possibly that one. You can see this deep pullback right there. And yeah, we have a deep pullback also here. So it's been making some very decent and very audacious steep pullback, deeper pullback or deep pullback as the case may be. It doesn't matter how I actually call it. So far, you understand that's the major thing. So now that's exactly what I'm anticipating for. Again, I want to see a much deeper pullback, probably deeper than this particular demand zone. Okay. So deeper than this zone right there. And if that ends up happening, I would be glad to say it or probably to even consider it. I'll really be glad to consider it. But fingers crossed, by the way, fingers crossed. We are not sure yet. Is the market just gonna pull back to this place, then move back up? Or if you come back to retest it again to make double bottom like this, come back, make multiple double bottom, then go back up. Or the deeper pullback will eventually happen, and then the market will do what? Move up. I'm not sure. I don't know. All right. All I know is that if it's only if I get, before I can consider a buy, I want to see something like this one. Okay. I want to see a retest. Then I want to see this particular high get taken out. I'll take a buy here. If this didn't play out, I want to see a drop to the downside, a break above here, pull back, then I'll take a buy at the top here. If this fails to play out, I will do what? I will sit on my hands. I don't have problem sitting on my hands on USD CAD. So I have two plans, 1 and 2, a miniature pullback or a deeper pullback. If none of that happen and the market ends up flying up right there, I'm done with it. All right, I'm done with it. I want something I understand, something quite basic, something understandable, and something real good. And don't forget, yesterday we had quite a serious fundamentals on CAD yesterday. All right, the news that came out yesterday for Canadian dollar was also very impressive. Okay, the Bank of Canada rate came just as expected. Okay, they didn't cut any rate at all. It was just as forecasted, and it came just as yeah, the market came just as forecasted, which is in a way quite positive for Canadian dollar because the currency is already weak. So when you have a currency quite weak, and then your interest rate is also now getting cut. I mean, what is the point? You can see the market is forecasting. I mean, it came as expected. They actually cut 50 basis points, but the impact wasn't that severe. Okay, they cut 50 basis points, but it came just as expected. Like I used to tell you, this is most likely already priced into the market. All right. So the fact that it came as expected was a good thing for the pair. I mean, for the currency, yeah, for the pair, literally, currency, the pair, we're saying the same thing, tomato, tomato, potato, tomato. All right. So it came quite interesting as the for fact that it came just as expected. However, it still kind of signal that DX Canadian dollar is still pretty much weak, and we should pay close attention to it. So that's why possibly you can see it's after the data was released that we got this, and you can see it went back up in almost immediately during the press conference. So let's see if we can get this or this. And that would be the only two reasons why we consider a new buy on USD CAD. So I'm putting it under my top watch, and that would be that. Aussie dollar, due to the data that came out this morning, also tapped me out at probably a trailing stop, which is quite good. Now, the question is, will I still take a sell trade on this? Okay, would I still consider taking a further sell trade on this one? I am not super sure of this, and that is just a fact. Okay, that is just a fact. I am not sure if I will really consider another buy on this trade. I mean, excuse me, another sell of this trade. It doesn't look quite neat to me anymore. All right. It doesn't look pleasing to me anymore. It doesn't literally make sense to me anymore. So there is no point in trying to force this one on myself. Okay. There is no plan. There is no reason for me to force it on myself anymore. So I would probably just sit this one out for the main time. Okay. I will do what? I will probably sit this one out for now. Okay. That is what I'm gonna do. I will sit it out and then I will relax my what? I relax my muscle. Okay. I will relax my muscle on it. That is going to be my plan. So moving forward, but if you're interested in taking a short position because it's still quite weak, all right. In my personal and humble opinion, it's still very much weak. But if you're planning to take a sell trade, I would say probably a close below here would be nice. Okay, something like this would be nice to take a short trade on. As far as Aussie dollar is concerned, okay, we do take this out. Don't forget, we have a stronger employment rate, okay, that came out this morning. Stronger job data for, what's it called again? For Aussie dollar, all right? We have a very strong, Australian dollar is still Aussie dollar. It's just the same to offer Aussie, literally. Okay, we have a stronger employment rate. So let's hope that this particular zone, or let's say some people call it order block or something. I don't know. No, this is not order block. This is order block. When the market, all these places like order block or whatever. All right, but we are not talking about that. Let's see if this particular drama that happened here. Don't forget, sometimes, some days ago, we saw this move to the upside, correction immediately. All right, is it going to repeat itself right here when we see this jump up and the market will drop down again? Is it going to repeat itself? I don't know. Well, I would like to speculate. I'm not sure I will take this trade, but I mean, there's no hurt in just watching. Okay, there's no hurt in watching. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I will just speculate. If it's going to drop down, see, right, that will take like the next 2 to 3 hours. And don't forget, the other reason why I might consider this, which I'm not sure of, I'm saying it, I'm not so sure, is because it's already touching the 70 RSI. Okay, there is also a possibility of us saying market move, breaking up and start going back up. All right. But fingers crossed, like I used to tell you guys, let's cross our fingers and wait. So let's talk about DXY before we now jump into what's it called again? Before we jump into the rest of my top watch. Okay, those are the trade I had open and the one that just got closed out. So that's that. I have a plan. I'm still holding euro dollar sell. I'm still holding pound dollar buy. Okay, both trade are quite crazy. Imagine me buying euro dollar and selling GU. I mean, buying pound dollar and selling EU. That is quite crazy. But you just have to follow the market as it presents itself. That is my psychology about trading. Okay, follow it as it presents itself, or just don't trade at all if it comes against everything you believe in when it comes to intermarket analysis and the usual correlation. If it comes against it, just don't trade at all. Okay. Now moving on, don't forget we have this data yesterday, Ctrl Z. I think I should go ahead and pick it again. Let me see. So I want to go and pick the fundamentals that I had posted here before. So that's what I was trying to paste, but I forgot that there's something else copied on my clipboard. So it went off. So I think I have it now. Let me see if it can get pasted here. Yeah, here we go. So yesterday we had a core, we have the inflation data that came, the core CPI month on month came just as expected. As a matter of fact, it came just as it was last month. And we had monthly CPI, all right, this inflation, the month on month CPI or the month on month inflation, anyhow you want to call it. All right, it was previously resting at 0.2%, which was a decrease from where it was last time, which was 0.3%, okay, in September. I mean, October, November came. I mean, October, in September, it was at 0.3. In October, which was released in November, okay, you know, the one we had yesterday was for November, anyways, okay, but it was released in December. The one for this month will be released in what? In January. That's how it goes, okay? They release month prior in the current month. I'm not sure if you get the English, but you can check on Google for better understanding. Maybe my English is kind of shaky and, and it's not well articulated or whatever. Moving on. So we have 0.2% for upper month of October. Okay, then what came out was, I mean, what the market was forecasting was what? Was 0.3%, meaning increments in what? In inflation. We are in the festive period. People are buying Halloween costume. People are buying more stuffs. Okay, and also the political instability in the United States. By political, I mean the geopolitical memorandum and charade that's been going on in the United States and globally also can factor into more gun sales. Uh, more people buying some basic thing they think they need to keep at home just in case there is a war between Russia and US. Okay, people might not want to face it, but it's possible, it's very likely. We are closer to World War III than we've ever been in decades. That is what Donald Trump said, and that's what so many people said out there, if you were listening. All right. So all this would definitely kind of like spike people. Consumers will want to consume more, want to buy more, want to stay at home more. So we got that's why the market kind of forecasted that. And then you can see right here, we had just as expected, which is quite normal, right? Normal. But if we have had something like 0.5%, that would have been crazy. But I think dollar actually flexly or ferociously or angrily bounced up yesterday. But we saw a very minimal move, which was good. And then the CPI year on year also came yesterday. As you can see right here, we are 2.7%, which was exactly what was forecasted, but higher than previous. Okay, which was also very good. This is talking about the long-term inflation. You understand what I'm saying? Something like how much a tractor cost, how much car now cost, when something that is not it's not, it's only when it comes to food, something consumable that you can consume at once that kind of like gets super, super expensive all of a sudden, like eggs, like groceries. Okay, those are the ones that's calculated month on month. But when now comes to the CPI annually, something like house sales, home sales, how much does a car cost? Something that you can't just buy, you can't just change unless you needed it or you have that kind of money. You can't just buy a car now and be like, I want to change it tomorrow morning. It doesn't make sense. I mean, the reason why you bought it in the first because you like the car. So at least you have to drive for like 6 months or a year or more before you can start thinking of changing it. Unless the car is 40 as well. And the same thing but grocery, the moment you are done with eggs, a crate of egg or maybe 10 crates of egg, you want to go and get another one maybe a month after that. That's why that one is always like quite more sporadic than the annual. All right. But at the same time, they are all both factored together, they are underlying inflation data. So it's still kind of mixed together in a way. So moving on, we have this just as expected. And what happened to DXY yesterday was this. You can see the market went up a little bit, came down, went back up, and then off it goes to the downside. And this is where we are right now. Okay, you can now see officially we have an obvious range. Okay, if you're doubting it before, I think it is quite clear now that we are in a range. Okay, DXY is currently in a range. You can see the market came down, went back up, make a double top right here, came down. All right, we now have multiple support. We have two resistances as well. And then the market did what? The market went back up. Now we have the third resistance. Is the market going to come back down? All right, which will now make it the third what? The third support. So S2, S1, R1, R2, and R3. Okay, but so far, this particular low is yet to be taken out. Okay, we can be sure that the market will continue to come back to S3, support the third support. You can as well break up here, pull back, and then the market continue to go, probably come back to 107 or even move higher to probably 110. Okay, But fingers crossed, nothing is clear yet until PPI is released today. And that will definitely signal one or two things to us that we can actually lay our fingers on. But be rest assured that if this top is broken, definitely we are probably back into what another bullish run on what on DXY. Another what? Another bullish run on DXY. So keep close tab on it. Before we can consider DXY bearish, all right, before we can consider it bearish, I think this inner structure that I kind of considered earlier this month, okay, or maybe late last month, earlier this month, okay, this particular structure, what's going on with this thing? This particular structure that was broken, retested, I consider as what? As a reversal that failed to continue below here, all right, was probably ending or will be ended the moment the market break above here and pull back. Before I can consider a sell, it's going to look like this. If I'm going to take a buy, probably look like this. Okay, we already have higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Let's just see if we can get a better high at the top here, pull back to retesting this resistance, and then we start looking for buy opportunity on DXY. But for sell, it's still going to look like this. Anything that happens inside this range, I am of no business. I have no plan. I have nothing for it. I'm just going to sit and watch and wait. So moving on to silver, we've talked about GU, we've talked about Euro dollar, we've talked about Aussie dollar, we've talked about USD card. Now, silver. Silver I took a buy yesterday. I think I shared it on the group. All right, and we talked about it yesterday. As I said, if I get a very good pullback, I take a buy at the next engulfing candle. And you can see that's exactly what happened yesterday. I got a very nice engulfing candle and I took it right around there. So that is the plan, and that is where I am right now. So moving forward, fingers crossed. I don't have any other thing on silver or anything for silver. I'm just gonna watch this and wait to see how it goes. If we end up pulling back, maybe fine. You can join, probably pull back to this zone. You can join right here and wait for it to go up further. But right now, inflation in the United States is getting expensive. The economy is not looking smoother, and with the looming conversation going on that Fed will probably cut 25 basis points, which could end up cutting, they might end up cutting 50 basis points, which would definitely hurt dollar. It will hurt it. It will hurt dollar so much if they cut 50 basis points. They know it. Everybody knows it. But what is pricing right now is 25 basis point cut. But if they end up and go ahead and cut 50, and if they mistakenly cut 75, good Lord, dollar is going to get really, really affected. I mean, you will see that kind of jump that happened during the election. Then the election night, probably you see something like that. But fingers crossed, I'm just here feeling myself, right? Nothing is sure yet. So still fingers crossed. Let's pay close attention to everything. All right. But silver going up nicely. USD JPY on the other hand, like I said, I am still not super interested in this pair from now. All right. And you can see this weird fundamentally inclined pump and dump that happened yesterday. All right, so on GJ, that's one of those things that I don't like the yen pairs for. And I'm definitely gonna take a buy right at the top here. Honestly, I buy trade right here. Okay, my buy trade right there. Anything outside of that, I will probably consider a sell trade right below here. Okay, sell trade right below here, buy trade right above here. This is not given for me. If I had taken this buy, it would have been a very dramatic one, but I'm not sure it would have tapped me out because my stop loss would definitely be below here, right here. But it's not, it wouldn't still be the best. Okay. I'm just saying the crossover. So high, 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 low, high, high, pull back, buy right here. It's not so bad, but I will probably wait for the top here. Okay. And I already have a lot of dollar trade running right now. So I don't want to overly extend or expose my margin to lots of dollar pairs. So keeping close tab and watching very closely. USDCHF is right there at the bottom. All right. Like I said, if SMB end up closing or cutting the 50 basis point that they're forecasting to cut, right? Let me check again just to confirm that I'm not talking in the rubbish. All right. Yeah, they want to cut. Right, they want to cut 25 basis points, excuse me. Like I said, I have to check. So they want to cut 25 basis points. They end up cutting 25 basis points, that's fine. If not, I guess that will be that. Although we have like 4 minutes to that. So that means I've actually spent a lot of time here also talking to you. This is quite like time is fast spent. This is another thing when it comes to fundamentals. When it comes to fundamentals, you have to explain, you have to shed more light, you have to expand, you have to expatiate. By the time you're doing that, 10 minutes, 15 minutes already gone. Okay. But technicals, pam, 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 you're done with 3 minutes. You understand? But fundamentals make the whole thing make sense. Okay. It makes it sound fun. It makes you also sound professional in a way. All right. So that's that. But USHF is ranging. I'm not touching it right now. Let's see what the SMB has to say. Let's see if they're going to cut the 25 basis points as forecasted or maybe more. All right. We're going to circle back in like 4 minutes. Good. I took there's a buy trade that has been running on gold for now, for a while now. I guess the TP was taken yesterday, and that was that. I have a trade running. I think my TP is still at the top here on that trade. And I've opened this trade for like 2 weeks now. I took the buy right here. I took that buy right here. Okay, and my stop loss was right below here. So that trade ran for like forever. Okay, for forever. And just to 1:3, 1:2.9% trade. Okay, it's just that. But I will show you probably on the group later. Let me even check if I can lay my hands on it on my phone. Probably I can copy and paste it right now. But if not, I guess that will be that. So moving on to WTI, nothing from my hands on gold right now. Okay, unless this top is talking out. If we had a break above here, probably I will take another buy moving forward. But if not, I guess that will be that. Anyways, so moving forward to the next pair, which is WTI. The booty, on the other hand, going back up, this has been a lot, a lot. But I'm glad that it ended up breaking above structure. And we had what's it called again? The inventories. Yeah, so the inventories it came lower. All right. I think it comes higher. We had negative 1.4 million right now, which means I don't really know what this means, to be honest. I don't know. All this negative 1.4 million, negative this, negative that. Okay. So the inventories, if the actual is lower than forecast, all right, good. So we had negative 1.4 million, meaning there is a reduction of zero point 0.4 million, negative zero point 0.4 million, which is like 400K. And that was read as a very, very hawkish number for crude oil inventories. And that was good. And probably that's the reason why we saw that spike yesterday on crude oil. Now, the plan is, if I'm going to take this, I think this is a very good. This is a good one. At least a very clear break of this bearish channel is good. So if we can get a very nice pullback, all right, probably I will consider buying, all right, to the upside right there. Okay, a very nice and decent pullback is what I'm waiting for right now on crude oil. If I get that, that will be fine. If not, I will just keep watching and I will simply just keep waiting on crude oil. That is going to be my plan, and that will be that. Okay, that will be what? That would be that. It's fine. It's a good one that we had this broken out. That's good. So now let's get ready. Lastly, before we talk about Bitcoin, we have NZUSD. NZUSD finally break below this structure, this very wide and crazy structure, and it went back up. Now it seems like it's about to come down. Can we start looking for short opportunity? You get that right. We can now start looking for short opportunity all the way to the bottom, right here, yearly support. Okay. I mean, this is crazy, isn't it? This is massively crazy. But do we have any other choice than just to follow the market? We don't. All right. We seriously don't have any other choice. So the plan is to just wait for a clear drop down to this zone, and I will give a sell trade a shot. All right, I will give a sell trade a shot, probably right below here. I will let you know. There's no serious structure anyway. All right, there's no serious structure like that, but I guess I can make something out of it on on a smaller time frame anyways. It's something from this previous high. Yeah, if the the possibility is market retesting it, move up, or market retest it, break it, pull back, and start dropping, which is the second one is what I will be selling. All right, so pay attention to this. All right, pay close attention to this. Lastly, let's talk about Bitcoin. I took a buy trade on Bitcoin. I think I shared yesterday. All right, I took a buy right here. It's good. I think I was already tapped out. I think in the middle of the night, I was tapped out somewhere around there. Okay, so the plan is I'm still waiting for what? A pullback so I can take another buy. Until this particular support is taken out successfully, like this, and on the 4 hour time frame, I can see that the market has crossed over each other. I mean, the moving average has crossed over each other. I'm still very much bullish on Bitcoin. But the moment the market drop and I see the moving average overlaying on each other bearishly, then I'll start looking for sell trade. It's gonna happen one way or the other. We don't know when. You can really time the market accurately. but you can always forecast, you can always wait, you can always be ready. Whoa! Swiss National Bank cut 50 basis point. That is crazy. Where is the CHF? It's gone up. I told ya. 50 massive basis points. Let me show you real quickly. Let me show that to you real quickly. This is it right here. 50 massive basis points. Imagine from 1% to 50 massive basis points. I told you guys earlier today, earlier in this session, I told you that if it was as expected, we wouldn't have seen this jump. Definitely not. But the fact that it was not, that's why we see this. All right. And this is my set tone for USC. Come on, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. All right, so euro dollar kind of like drop also. Nice. Pound dollar definitely in a lot of mess right now. In a little bit of a mess. Definitely it helped GXY to kind of pump up a little bit, but this is all CHF story. All right. USD can also no impact on that one. The guy didn't even care, didn't even flinch. There were not a single flinch from USD card. He's still keeping his teeth. But yeah, this is quite interesting. Let's check the more. That's 75 pips jump. Not so much, but it is significant. All right. It is significant. And this is what I'm talking about. The market was forecasting 25 basis point cut, and they ended up breaking what? They ended up cutting 50 basis point. That is, the market wasn't expecting that. But when that happened, it changes the game, and then you can see the way it jumped up. All right. That is what we're always talking about when it comes to fundamentals. You have to understand it, you need to know what it is. Okay, don't feel like you've missed out on this one. Definitely, there will definitely be possible. There's a possibility for what a pullback before we now start seeing a further jump up. But the fact that the cut rate 100%, your CHF is a lot of mess. Okay, if you fail, let's assume that dollar now get weaker. All right, what we likely see is a range that will prolong for months on months because dollar is weak, CHF is weak. Dollar is weak, Swiss is weak. So what we get is what? A probable what? Range. And that's why if you go back in time and check USD CHF, it ranges more than it trends. Okay, you can see lots and lots and lots of ranges. Okay, and that is how it goes with the pair. Okay, a range, trend. You can see this. We are currently in another range. There was a range here. There was a range here. There was a bit of a range here. Right. There was a range here. There was a range here. There was a range here. A range. Consolidation again. Lot of consolidation. Consolidation right here. Lot of weird consolidation right here. Okay, so it's a very fine pair once you know that sometime in range and you know how to position yourself. If you really do know how to position yourself, trading USHF is going to be very cool for you. You don't have to be in the market all the time. Be careful and be fearless, and you make money trading USHF. Lastly, Bitcoin, as I was saying earlier, it's good for buy, all right, but let's wait for pullback, a better pullback, and then we chip in, all right? We chip in again for a good buy. So that is where I'm going to be stopping today. I'll see you tomorrow by the grace of God, which will be the last day of the week. All right. So let's have a great day. Please endeavor to protect your capital at all costs. If there's no opportunity, you don't need to force any trade. If there's an opportunity and you want us to learn from you, from your trade, post it on the group. Let's look into it together. And that will be that. I will see you all tomorrow. Let's have a great day. Bye for now.